What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, and today we are going to be talking about this. So, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee has been released, and for me, I personally went with Eevee since I'm pretty much done with Pikachu, and I think Eevee looks cuter now. The this one, it came with the Pokeball Plus, and the box actually doesn't have anything much in it except for this, which is the Pokeball Plus. So it's pretty small compared to how I envisioned it, but it fits perfectly in one's hand. You actually have to hold it like this because the button is over here that you need to press, I guess, to select stuff in the menu, and then the actual Joy-Con is right here at the top. So I actually tried this out with Pokemon GO, and as I've mentioned in my previous tweet a couple of hours ago, I did manage to catch 5 out of the 11 Pokemon that were scattered in the area I was in while I was testing it out. And also, it came with this is actually the only package inside of the box. Pokeball was right there. Yeah, the charger for the Pokeball Plus, and of course the game, which is inside the typical Nintendo game case, and this piece of paper which acts as the instruction for how to operate the Pokeball Plus. And also from the store I bought this from, they gave us free sort of minifigure, I suppose. And depending on which version you chose, they gave you either the female trainer with Eevee. I'm not sure how clear this looks like, but yeah, the female trainer with Eevee and the male trainer with Pikachu, and it actually looks pretty cute. And also a poster that I haven't opened yet, but it looks like the game poster, the promotional poster for the game Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Now, I haven't tested the game just yet. I have actually just returned from the 8-hour drive to and from the closest video game store that was offering the pre-order for the game. So I'm gonna go and do a 1-hour playthrough of the game and then talk about what I think of that first hour experience. So I hope you guys will join me on this. Let's get started. Alright, so for the sake of not getting in trouble with Nintendo for posting anything regarding the game that is not on sort of reviewing or reacting side, I'm not going to post the entire game second by second as the game progressed. Rather, I'm going to just show you guys the most interesting things I have encountered in the game that is not that is not full of spoilers or things that we have not already been shown. Or if we have been shown these things, I'm just gonna go and expound on them a little bit. So the first thing is right off the bat, the game makes you choose which kind of control mode you want to use. So since you can only use 4 of them, as the video you can see suggests, you can only use the left or the right Joy-Con, the Pokeball Plus, or use your entire Switch on handheld mode as your mode of control. So right then and there, you have to choose. You of course can change that by going into the settings of the game, but you would have to watch a sort of, well, it's not really lengthy, but just enough of a introductory cutscene for you to be able to move your character around, pretty much like most, if not all, of the Pokemon games we have out on the market right now. Also, right off the bat, we can see how cute Eevee is, and I'm guessing also Pikachu if you chose that version over the Eevee version. But as you can see, the animators really outdid themselves with how adorable Eevee looks in this opening video. I think one of the biggest disappointments I have right at the start of the game is how few the customization options are for your avatar at the start of the game. As you can see, you can only select 4 different types of faces or skin tones, hair color, and you can't even mix and match them at the start. So I was hoping that prior to, Nintendo releasing these videos regarding Pokemon Let's Go, that they would at least give us a decent enough avatar creation system. But I suppose we still have to wait for that to actually happen. Regardless, the character models in this game still looks amazing. It looks beautiful, even though, I still don't understand why they keep pushing female characters or female avatars in games like this to just having, long hair. Like, hello, there are others of us who actually do have short hair. Thank you very much. So, yeah. I also actually named the rival character after a friend of mine, and I asked him if I could do that since he is getting Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and he said yes, so I named this guy after him. So again and again, we've heard other people say that the learning curve for this game is quite steep, that there is 100% learning curve, and that is true, especially if you're using the Poké Ball Plus, since as I've said before, as I've mentioned, you need to grip the Pokeball a certain way in order to feel comfortable with it, and it does take quite a while for you to actually grow comfortable with using the Pokeball Plus. And also sometimes if you just since the confirm button in the Pokeball Plus is actually the top button, or the one that is in the analog stick, since that is the confirm button, it kind of gets difficult selecting items and then confirming your selection because of that at times I found my hand, my grip, slipping on the um, grip that I'm supposed to be having or supposed to have in using the Pokeball Go Plus. And the cancel button is actually the button that is on the red side of the Pokeball. So again, the grip is pretty important, especially when it finally comes into the part where you actually use the Pokeball or use your, the motion controls in order to catch Pokemon. Since again, it's motion control, so you have to actually align it to where your switch is, not actually where your TV is. Like a straight throw, you can't throw or move your arm in a way that it's not going like in a straight manner, because that would miss your mark unless the Pokemon is on the other part of the screen. And you don't actually need to do that big of an action. There are moments where or when I just flick a little bit and I got an excellent throw from that. So I'm still learning how to actually catch Pokemon effectively with the Pokeball Plus. Another thing is, because the Pokeball Plus is round, sometimes when you grip it, you sort of lose the grip and the ball just moves around a bit, so then you will have difficulty controlling your character, moving your character around. And you would actually have to take your time to fix how you're handling the ball, and it's not really that big of a complaint. I actually love the Pokeball Plus. It's so much fun. There's so many surprises from it. Like I'm just charging it for the first time, and so when you connect your Pokeball into its charger, it actually gives you the Pokemon Center chime, and that's quite surprising for me. Also, when you capture a Pokemon, it gives you the sound. You can actually hear the Pokemon's cries inside the Pokeball Plus, and it also lights depending on how well the catching sequence is going, and also depending on what color the Pokemon is, or at least that's what I noticed when I captured a Bulbasaur. It glowed green. When I captured Pikachu, it went yellow, stuff like that. And it's really an amazing accessory and a controller, so mad props for the people who designed it. But at the same time, as I've mentioned, using the Pokeball Plus as a controller takes quite a while to get used to, and it's not really that big of a deal. If you're not comfortable with using it, you can still go back and use the other control modes that we tackled earlier. So I'm really I'm still fine with the Pokeball Plus. Now on to finding the Pokemon you want to capture. So unlike the previous games where you actually have to move around the patches of grass, the tall grass, in order to encounter Pokemon, now you can actually see which Pokemon you're about to encounter. And sometimes the Pokemon that you want to encounter, they will appear immediately and surprise you, especially when it came to me trying to find Bulbasaur. I thought I would, be stuck there in Viridian Forest for a while, but he suddenly appeared and I managed to catch him on first or couple of tries of throwing Pokeballs later. And then I also encountered a Chansey on Mount Moon. Unfortunately, I was trying to figure out how to move the camera using the Pokéball Plus in order for the camera to center on Chansey, and because I'm not really so sure about this, because I think I sort of paused for a while trying to, move the Pokeball, trying to determine how to move the camera with it, that Chansey ran away and I wasn't able to capture it. But yeah, you can see the Pokemon you want to capture right at the map. Sometimes though they suddenly appear and you have no way of avoiding them, that you would actually end up just having to try to capture them or run away if you don't want to use up your Pokeballs. But since the only way to level up your Pokemon and raise their power and their combat power is by capturing Pokemon outside, apart from battling other trainers, you may want to make time to capture as many, or all, if you want, you can capture all the Pokemon you encounter. I'm still trying to figure out how to release the Pokemon you have captured that you have a lot of, since I have quite a number of Bellsprouts in my inventory as of this moment, as well as Zubats from Mount Moon. So I don't know how to release them just yet. Another thing about the Pokeball Plus, by the way, that I forgot to mention is that it only has the movement, the arrow keys, which you can control via the joystick, and then the confirm button or the A button by pressing down the joystick, and then the B button or the cancel button by pressing the red button on the Pokeball. And in order for you to press the other buttons that are in the Joy-Con or on the Switch, you have to shake the Pokeball, shake it so that whatever other controls there is supposed to be on that particular menu, it will trigger that. So it's again, using the Pokeball Plus, it takes a while to get used to. And also in regards to capturing Pokemon and also fighting trainers, is that each battle you win that is not part of this progression of the story, like the NPC trainers that you battle when you move in front of them or when they catch you, winning those battles gives you not only money but also Pokeballs. And so far I have gotten 3 Pokeballs from each of these trainers, as well as 2 Great Balls, which you unlock after beating Brock in Pewter City. So yeah, it's sometimes also the Pokemon that you capture, they drop berries. You can get berries from that, or from when the Pokemon you have as a partner finds items for you. So another thing that people wondered about prior to the release is when are we gonna get Mew? So if you bought the Poké Ball Plus, you get Mew in it, and that's the only way you can get Mew in the game. You can transfer the Mew you captured on Pokemon GO into Pokemon Let's Go. So you have to buy the Poké Ball Plus in order for you to complete the Pokédex if you want, apart from trading, and also in order for you to complete the Master Challenges at the end of the game. Now, people I think thought that, or if I remember correctly, they thought that you actually have to go farther into the story before you can actually get Mew, but surprisingly, you can actually get him the moment that you return to Palatown in order to give the parcel to Professor Oak. That would open up the communication function, and then you can connect to get the gift. Mew is actually under the mystery gift via Pokeball, if I remember the words correctly, and you can actually get him from the very start or near the start of the game. And Mew starts off in level as a level 1 Pokemon, so you can actually play the entire game using Mew if you want. So I actually plays Mew as a partner, so I have Eevee standing atop my avatar's cap, and then Mew not following around. Sometimes Mew even darts forward, and it's actually pretty cool that Nintendo and Game Freak did this. I know a couple of people who wanted to, really make use of Mew, not just in the end game content, so I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy to know and to realize that yes, they can actually do that. Similarly, the starter Pokemon, since you can't really choose which starter Pokemon you start with apart from whatever version of the game you bought, like if you bought Let's Go Pikachu, then you're stuck with Pikachu. If you bought Let's Go Eevee, you're stuck with Eevee. If you actually try to choose a different Pokeball than the one you're supposed to at the start of the game, like it will actually play a funny sort of scene that I'm not gonna spoil for those who want to figure it, but I actually found it quite funny, and in character for the Pokemon that you're supposed to pick. Now let's talk about battles, which is another aspect of being a Pokemon trainer. Of course, you've got to battle other Pokemon trainers and become a Pokemon master by completing gym trials and winning the Elite Four. The battles are pretty easy. I actually expected a much better UI than the one we got, but at the same time I'm happy with what we got for this game, since that means they could actually improve upon it for the next game that's supposed to come out next year, the what is it, generation 8 now. So yeah, the battles, again, the difficulty, they're not really that difficult, especially if you keep capturing every single Pokemon you encounter and fighting every single trainer on the map or in a particular area. Chances are by the time you reach Brock, you would have a decent level team and you can actually win that pretty easily. I actually captured, like I said, a Bulbasaur, and that made, together with Bellsprout, that made the battle easier for me. Not that the Brock's gym is actually hard. It's not. It's the first gym, for those who don't know the earlier iteration of this game, which is Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, and Yellow. And also, there's a surprise cameo here. At least I felt surprised because I wasn't expecting to see this character in this game. But if you watched the specials that of the anime that do not deal with Ash, then you would have an idea of who this character is. So I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm not sure if I will even be showing that clip of the game here in this video, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. You know, little things like this make this game special. It's not just nostalgic for us who have played or has played the original versions of this game, but it also is special in a way that introduces those who do not know the series into the series, like those people who just casually play Pokemon Go and don't really know Pokemon other than, you know, or don't know any other series about Pokemon other than Ash's adventure. So this game is a really good starting point for those who do not know the series, and at the same time it's a good reminder for those of us who have played the games before, and it shows you sort of the direction that Pokemon might go in the future. Like, I could imagine them building upon this game and making the mechanics of the future games better based upon this game. And I'm fine with, you know, the motion controls, the capturing, using the Poké Ball, even though, again, that takes a little getting used to. I'm fine with that. That's brilliant, actually. It actually makes you feel like you're actually capturing Pokemon. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for the video game series. I can't say the same about the anime series, since I have long given up on watching Ash and whatever adventure or misadventure he finds himself in. Overall, though, having played this game for more than 2 hours prior to me recording my thoughts and recording myself, sharing my thoughts about it, I can say that this is really a great game. So far, it's fun. It's nostalgic again, as I've said, for us who have played the game before, the original version of the game before. And also, again, it's a good introductory for those who haven't. I have followed most of the argument regarding this game and how people said they would be disappointed. So apart from, you know, the controls, how, especially if you're playing, you know, I forgot about to mention this before, if you're playing on handheld, the motion detection of the game, the sensor of the not the game, of the console itself is so sensitive that a little bit of movement actually translates to you doing anything, like if you're capturing a Pokemon, for example. I'm having a hard time explaining what I'm trying to say. If you're capturing a Pokemon, for example, and you're playing on handheld mode, a little bit of movement can automatically cause the camera to move. Like in handheld mode, you move the camera by moving the Switch itself. So a little movement like that could potentially make it difficult for you to capture a Pokemon. Similarly, if you're playing on tabletop, a little bit of movement, again, the camera moves. So that's a little bit of a gripe for me, especially trying to play this on the go, which many argue is why playing ports on the Nintendo Switch is amazing, because you can play it outside on the go. But yeah, apart from that, I really can't find any faults in this game that would be used as consideration in boycotting this game, or dissing this game, especially if you haven't tried it, if you've just seen the trailers, the gameplay footages. It's actually a pretty fun game. I actually have to pride myself, if the Poké Ball Plus didn't run out of battery, I would have kept playing for an hour more maybe of the game, because I still have other things to do. I have other reviews that I need to do, so I have to really control my playtime for this, even though I want to sink into this, especially since more and more areas are opening up for right at where I stopped playing. So it's actually pretty fun, and there's so many things to still learn about this game. Like, I haven't unlocked customizing my character yet. I haven't dived into the game itself, so these are actually just my early impressions on the game based on the length I have put it on it. So I may have forgotten a couple of things. I do not consider this as a review of the game. Again, this is just my reaction to the game that I have played for several hours earlier today. Anyways, what do you guys think? Did you guys purchase Pokemon Let's Go? Is this the game that made you finally decide to buy a Nintendo Switch? Were you among those people who pre-ordered the Pokemon Let's Go Special Edition Switch that also came with a Joy-Con. Please tell me what your thoughts are regarding the game, how far you have gone, and also which version did you buy, because as I have noticed from the long line where I got my pre-order from, a lot of us got Eevee, and I only saw one person actually pick up a Pikachu version of the game. So tell me, what version did you choose to buy, or will you buy when the time comes that you do decide to buy this game? So let me know on the comment section below. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope I was able to articulate my thoughts regarding this game well, that I somehow explained why this game is so much fun and shared my thoughts effectively and articulately regarding this game. So I'm planning to do more videos regarding this game in the future, but like I've said, I'm being careful because I don't want to get a strike from Nintendo. I don't want them to take down any of my videos regarding this, so I won't be making a Let's Play for this game no matter how much I would want to, and no matter if I do have the footage for it, since I was recording as I was playing the game earlier, unless Nintendo stands on that or loosens a bit and they don't strike people because of posting Let's Play videos of this game, then maybe I will keep these recordings or the Let's Play recordings to myself. This game, it isn't really a sort. I mean, they marketed that each person has, you know, their own adventure, but with how linear the story in this game is, that's not really possible. Maybe endgame content is what they're talking about, but since I'm not yet even halfway, not even a quarter way into the entirety of the game story or the game itself, I can't say for certain. So I'm really looking forward to getting further into the game. Anyway, that's all the time I have and we have for today. So again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video. Until then, dream on, fly on.